Let's talk about something a little uncomfortable, but let's be honest, it's true. Sometimes we're drawn to the pain of other people. Yeah, not always out in the open, and a lot of times we don't even realize we're doing it. So today, we're going to unpack the psychology behind this very human, very complicated reaction. So, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever felt that? That little quiet spark of satisfaction when maybe a rival at work totally messes up, or some celebrity gets dragged online? If you have, well, you are not alone. In fact, that feeling, it's a deeply ingrained psychological response. Our goal here isn't to make excuses for it, but to really understand what's going on under the hood. It's not a sign that you're a cruel person. It's actually a signal of something way more complex. And look, this feeling doesn't always show up as some big evil act. It's usually a lot more subtle. It can look like sharing a juicy piece of gossip, making a little mocking joke, or, just sitting back and watching a train wreck unfold on social media. Okay, so where does this feeling even come from? Well, the first big set of reasons are all about the ego's defense mechanisms. It's basically our mind trying to keep us feeling stable, even if it has to use some pretty questionable tricks to pull it off. One of the biggest drivers is something psychologists call downward social comparison. Basically, when you see someone else struggling, it creates this powerful contrast. All of a sudden, your own problems don't seem so bad. I mean, think about it in the age of social media, right? Seeing someone's perfect influencer life hit a snag can make our own messy, real life feel a little more okay. The crazy part is, your life hasn't actually gotten any better, but your perception of it has. And it is so important to get this distinction right. That feeling you get, it's not genuine confidence. It's not real self-worth. It's a temporary hit of relief, and it's born from insecurity. It's a quick fix that our brain learns to look for whenever we're feeling low. And then, of course, there's envy. When we see someone who has the success or the attention that we want, it can feel like our internal scales are way out of balance. So when that person stumbles, that little jolt of satisfaction we feel, it's not really about their pain. It's about our mind feeling like, finally, those scales have tipped back into balance. This leads us to another really powerful driver, moral superiority. See, when someone makes a mistake, empathy connects us to them. We see their humanity. But moral superiority does the exact opposite. It uses their failure as proof of our own righteousness. Their pain becomes proof that we were right all along, that we would never do something like that. This is the engine that drives so much public shaming online. But it's not just about feeling better than other people. Sometimes this reaction comes from a much deeper place. It's like the mind putting on a suit of armor, just trying to feel safe and in control in a world that feels, well, pretty chaotic a lot of the time. It's a strange kind of logic, but it makes sense. When you feel like you have absolutely no control over your own life, watching someone else lose control can feel weirdly stabilizing. Powerlessness is a really uncomfortable feeling, and our minds will grab onto just about anything to compensate for it. And sometimes the problem is just simple overload. When we're totally overwhelmed by our own stress, our own anxiety, or our own pain, our ability to feel empathy can just shut down. It's a self-preservation thing. And in that numb state, someone else's pain stops being a human connection and just becomes entertainment. Our brains are also wired to be tribal. Research shows we process pain in totally different ways depending on who's feeling it. If it's someone in our in-group, our team, our political party, our online community, our empathy circuits just light up. But when it's someone from an out-group, that response is often turned way, way down. Their suffering literally feels less real to our brain. And finally, there's this idea of displaced aggression. Let's say you're super frustrated with your boss, but you can't say a thing. Well, that anger has to go somewhere. Mocking someone else's screw-up can become a safe, indirect way to let out all that pent-up emotion. That person isn't the cause of your anger, they're just an easy target. Okay, so we've walked through all these pretty dark psychological drivers, but what do we do with this information? This is where we pivot from the why it happens to the what now. Because if we can understand the true root of this feeling, we can find a way back to empathy. So here is the most important takeaway of all of this. Feeling that little flicker of satisfaction at someone's misfortune doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person with a warning light on your internal dashboard. It's a symptom of unaddressed insecurity or some unmet need or some unprocessed emotion inside of you. And awareness is everything. The next time you feel that flicker, instead of leaning into it or judging yourself for it, just get curious.
Ask yourself, what insecurity is this feeling trying to protect me from? What part of my own life am I avoiding by focusing on theirs? And what do I actually need right now? Is it validation, security, a sense of control?
Because this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. This whole phenomenon, from social comparison to moral superiority, it all comes from being disconnected from our own inner world. It really boils down to this. People enjoy others' pain when they are disconnected from their own. So the next time you feel that pull, that little flicker of satisfaction, maybe the question isn't what's wrong with me. Maybe the real question to ask yourself is this: what is my empathy, or my lack of it, trying to tell me about myself?